Days after his high-stakes meeting with US President Joe Biden, Russia's President Vladimir Putin is all set to meet Chinese President Xi Jinping virtually. The talks will be held on the 15th of December. The last time the two leaders met was in June this year. That meeting was also virtual, given that the Chinese president has not left the country since the pandemic erupted. This meeting comes as Russia-Ukraine tensions remain at an all-time high. On Sunday, the US and other G7 leaders issued a statement condemning Russia's aggressive military buildup along the border. China, which is not a part of the G7, was also in focus as the bloc of major economies met over the weekend. Currently, it is unclear what Beijing's position on Ukraine is. In July, Xi Jinping even spoke over the phone with the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Currently, Russia and China enjoy good ties. The two countries have seen since the 1950s the best ties at this point. The two neighbors share a long border. Most of their bilateral relationship is focused mostly on trade. Russia is the biggest supplier of weapons to China. Moscow is also the second largest source of its oil imports. For Russia, China is its top country trading partner, a key source of investment in its energy projects. But the two have been strengthening ties on other fronts as well. Both Moscow and Beijing have had similar foreign policy approaches. The leaders even share a great personal rapport. Since 2013, the two have met over 30 times, with Xi Jinping even calling Vladimir Putin his best friend. This new meeting now coming at a time of escalating tensions with the West. And with us on the broadcast is our correspondent Stuart Smith, joining us live from Moscow. Hi, Stuart. How exactly is Moscow viewing this crucial meeting? What are the expectations? What does it hope to achieve?
There's a lot of questions which neither the Chinese nor the Russian side have unfortunately provided much detail on. We know the meeting was planned at the weekend and announced on Monday here in Russia, and scant detail is out there about what the two will talk about. There is some rather generic phrasing which I can pass on. The meeting is said from the Chinese side will enhance mutual trust and lend stability and positive energy to the international situation. And there are three things in particular that China says it's interested in. It wants to review this year's bilateral relations and look at what was achieved throughout 2021. They want to, for next year, draw up a top-level plan for the development of bilateral ties and also exchange views on the major international and regional issues. Now, that could refer to a number of different issues which have not yet been specified in the preview to this meeting, but we will likely get more detail on what exactly the leaders discussed on Wednesday. President Putin of Russia, President Vladimir Putin, he goes into this with relations in his mind at the highest ever between Russia and China, and there's a lot for him to celebrate at the moment with his partner Xi Jinping of China. He's already decided to attend the Winter Olympics, as other countries, notably the United States, chooses not to attend in a diplomatic boycott. He was one of the first leaders to be invited and to confirm his attendance. There will be a focus on trade, almost certainly, especially energy, as you mentioned. Vital is the China and Russia relationship for that, particularly coal, as China goes through a coal shortage and Russia is China's biggest exporter of coal. So they'll be discussing that, and recently Chinese President Xi Jinping sent his condolences after a mine accident in Siberia killed 50 people. So China and Russia have shown an increased willingness to work together, but there are definitely issues, although not publicly aired, where the two countries disagree. For example, if we look at the situation in terms of military cooperation in Central Asia, traditionally Russia's domain of influence, its sphere of influence, and China in the SCO meeting, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, is frequently taking a more active role. That's something that Russia and lawmakers in Russia are slightly concerned about. And interesting you should mention Ukraine. Indeed, China has never expressed an opinion on Ukraine, but I think it's more likely to be on the side of Russia here, and here's why. Recently, China issued a statement saying it firmly supports Russia's measures to safeguard its national sovereignty and security, and that's the kind of language Russia uses when legitimizing its presence near the Ukrainian border.
Stuart Smith getting us those details and inputs from Moscow. Thanks very much for the moment. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.